Good morning and welcome to Roving Pittsburgher TV, and this is our good news roving reporter Joanne Quinn Smith. Roving Pittsburgh is our part of positively Pittsburgh Live Magazine.com, which is Pittsburgh's first internet radio and TV network, and we're here for the 5th time at the Military Writers Society of America conference here in sunny 102-degree weather, Phoenix, Arizona. If it's cold where you are, oh well. Because Valerie and I are here, and she is a second-time performer on Roving Pittsburgher TV, and you can hear her book, Military, and her book was Believing in Horses. Now she has this book. What's this? It's all this up here. Believing in Horses 2. Valerie Ormond. And let's talk about this because this is the great first book was a great, and it's an intermediate book for
Right.
young readers.
Yeah, it's considered young adult, but I also consider it middle grade as well. So I've just heard about one 6-year-old who's read Believing in Horses, but I say usually about 8 and up is the right age for that
8
book.
and 9, okay. And you have some military background?
I spent 25 years in the Navy and retired as a captain. I was an intelligence officer.
And this has now become obviously a series of books, and so how, I have to ask this, how did that writing this book relate to your military career?
Well, when I retired from the Navy, I wasn't sure what I wanted to do, but I knew that I'd learned a lot of lessons in those 25 years, and I somehow wanted to pass those lessons on to another generation. So I thought of doing it through a book for middle grade, that age where a lot of times kids are making decisions on their own for the first time. So I did it through a horse story, and I wanted to tell a story about a military family because I knew that. I had served in the military, I grew up in a military family, I was a Navy wife, so I felt like I could tell that story from a lot of perspectives. And there's so few books about military families, so I wanted to contribute to that.
You know, there was a poem I believe was popular in the 60s. It was called "They Also Serve Who Only Stand and Wait."
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if you remember that poem,
No,
but it
I
was
don't.
basically about the military families.
Yes, yeah.
People never got it at the time,
Mm-hmm.
but it was come out
Right.
during, I think perhaps during the Vietnam War era,
Right.
and it was about military families. So this is a great idea
Mm-hmm.
because there is service involved
Right.
in the families because they make the same kind
They
of
do,
sacrifices.
and I do a lot of schools and speaking engagements, and I'm just so surprised when I ask children in the room, I'll be 30 kids, I'll say, how many of you have moved? And 1 or 2 hands will go up. So there's some things about kids learning to adjust to challenges of not only moving, but their parents deploying and being separated and worrying about them, and that's a big focus of this book.
And the
is that
horse
really-
becomes basically a character in
Mhm.
the book, right?
I mean, yeah, it's not like a talking horse character, but it becomes her source of strength. And in this book, she is worried about her father who's serving in Afghanistan, so she turns to her love of horses to try to distract her from her worries. And so she pursues horse showing for the first time and also therapeutic riding. And those both seem to be going in the right direction, but then there's some challenges with the therapy. They throw some additional challenges at her, which I'm not going to give away. And again, the show ring is a little bit more overwhelming than what she thought. And then there's, of course, an evil rival in the show ring. So it's basically about this young girl facing challenges and overcoming them.
So this first book, Believing in Horses,
Mhm.
won some awards.
Won the Military Writers Society of America gold medal in 2012.
And for intermediate literature or
Young adult.
young
Right,
adult?
Right. And then this one this year is nominated for young adult.
Well,
So
you're obviously a
I'm-
finalist here. That's why you're
Right,
here.
that's, so I know that there'll be something, but, to me, I'm just so excited to be nominated and to be here, and would really like to give a shout out to those organizations that helped me write this book, because I did real research. It's a fiction, but a lot of the organizations I talk about are real organizations. So the Caisson Platoon Equine Assisted Programs, that's out of, they're the horses that pull the caissons in Arlington Cemetery, and they have a therapeutic program for soldiers. And Maryland Therapeutic Riding, which also has a Horses for Heroes, and many other kinds of appeals, not just heroes. And Spirit Program, which is a program that helps families, military families, and not by riding, but that's more like working with the horses and helping the horses people see things in themselves that they may not
That's
ordinarily see.
wonderful. And so you by the time that the viewers have watched this, we'll have it listed in the description what award Valerie has won for this book. Great book for libraries. Great book for, when you talk about this age group, it's, I think, when kids begin to make value judgments.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And it's very important that we give them some inspiration and some way of doing that. So, and you're available to speak?
Absolutely. I have a website, www.believinginhorses.com, and so you can find my contact information there. And I'm also CEO of Veteran Writing Services, and I have a website, www.veteranwritingservices.com.
Veteran Writing Services,
So
which are you, apparently your clients are veterans.
No, actually, it's anyone, but my long-term goal of that is to do what we're doing here, what Military Writers Society of America does, is help veterans write. Help veterans learn to write, help veterans tell their stories and get more of those stories out there and capture those stories.
Yeah.
Because so many people have so much to tell, whether they are military family members, or military members themselves, or fans of the military. So
That's
trying
true.
to help them.
Now, this is turning into a series. Do you think there will be a third book?
I have not started on a third book. This book just came out, so I'm trying to do a little bit to get this book out there.
They say don't write the second book until you used up all the publicity for the first one.
So yeah, I haven't decided. So but
Available
we'll
in
see.
ebook.
Available in ebook too. Yes.
Audiobook.
Not audiobook. No,
Okay.
not yet. I haven't gone that route yet. So.
Okay. So available in ebook, so they can get it where?
Amazon.com. They can get it from my website that I said. It's barnesandnobles.com. And on my website, I list all the retailers because they're actually in some stores as well. So.
And like so many other of our authors, Valerie would love to hear from you. So if you think you don't know an author, you do now, right?
I'd love to talk to you. Thank you.
Okay, so you can email Valerie through her website, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
And if you have any recommendations for her book, and by all means, if you buy the book on Amazon or wherever you buy, please leave a review, because authors don't write in a vacuum. They want to know what you think. What do you and the reader think?
That's true. And with this book, I had some very helpful comments from readers from my first book that helped me do some things that I think, each book is different, but I appreciated having the feedback because my first book was my first book, so I didn't have any, and so I used some of that feedback, and hopefully my readers will read that and enjoy that what they
First was
commented
very
on.
successful. I'm excited to read this one.
Yes.
So thank you for joining us.
Thank
and
you.
Again, the website for you is
www.believinginhorses.com.
Thank you so much for joining us, and this is our final interview for today. And till next year, on the Revenue Pittsburgh Report, which is part of Pittsburgh's first internet TV and radio station, pplmag.com, and we'll look forward to finding out what awards you won.
Thank
Which
you,
will be
Joanne.
listed in our description underneath this video, so that you'll know. And if they'd like to follow you, are you on Facebook and Twitter?
Yes, Facebook. I have Believing in Horses. Is facebook.com/Believing in Horses.
And are you on Twitter?
And Twitter, Believe in Horses is my.
Terrific. Thank you for joining us.
Okay, thank you, Joanne. Thank you for having me.
And that's a wrap.